at randyradio.com. The Miller Media Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Your friend in Central Illinois. WHOW.
Top of the morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence. The WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. My guest on the phone this morning, Jack Myers with Social Security. Good morning, Jack. How are you, sir?
Good morning, Seth. I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Doing good. It's feeling like September the last few days, which I don't mind. It certainly beats the heat we had last week and the week before, so I think I'll take it.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. It's kind of nice to enjoy a little bit of a cooler temperature. I'm kind of over the heat myself.
No question. Well, hey, Jack, let's dive into some things here for this morning. We're going to talk elder abuse. I think this may resonate with some of our listeners and maybe have some thoughtful ideas on what we can do to either prevent or recognize elder abuse. Let's start there today. What do you have for us?
Yeah, absolutely, Seth. I think what we probably want to start out with is just talking a little bit about what it is and how to identify it. So elder abuse is categorized as the intentional mistreatment or harming of an older person. And, while it's not good to abuse or misharm anybody, if we're talking about elder abuse, the older person is defined by the Social Security Act as someone who's over the age of 60. And the abuse can take many forms. It can be physical, it can be emotional, it can be sexual harm, it can be neglect, it can be financial exploitation. So there are a lot of different forms, like I said, that this abuse can take. And unfortunately, there are statistics that show that more than 10% of older adults experience some form of abuse each year. And the reality is that number is probably even higher because it often goes unreported. So, we're probably higher than that 10%. A lot of times the abusers are going to be someone that the older person knows and trusts. And if you're looking for signs of the abuse, so, you want to try to identify this, a few things you can look for are kind of sudden depression or unusual fear or anxiety, an intentional isolation of that individual. So those are just a few key things to look for. You can make a difference by just checking in with older loved ones and looking for the signs that I mentioned above. There are also some physical signs you could look for, obvious things like bruises or burns, but unexplained injuries potentially as well. I mean, sometimes people fall and, that happens, but if you're seeing that a lot, that may be something that perks up your attention. Signs of neglect would be poor nutrition or hygiene, lack of necessary medications or medical aids like glasses. If there's a caretaker, and normally that caretaker would be responsible for helping the person get those sorts of things, that might be a sign of some sort of neglect. And then if we're getting into the financial exploitation side of it, if you notice things like unpaid bills when the person should otherwise have the money to be able to cover their expenses, if you find out about sudden changes to their will or their estate planning, if you spot unexplained financial transactions, or if there's somebody new that all of a sudden has been granted access to their bank accounts, those are all forms or signs of financial exploitation that you want to kind of be on the lookout for. Mm-hmm. And if you spot any of that stuff, there's a way that you can report it. You would do so to the Illinois Adult Protective Services. They have a hotline that you could call, and it's 866-800-1409. So again, 866-800-1409. And that's for abuse against elders, but they would also take reports of abuse against people with disabilities who are between the ages of 18 and 59. Mm-hmm. So they work with both.
Very good. Sometimes a heavy subject there, Jack, but always worth having. And it's amazing. We talk with folks from the domestic abuse agency in Piatt County, and oftentimes they'll bring up elder abuse, as a form of domestic violence and those sorts of things. But it certainly can overlap with Social Security, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's the Social Security benefits that are the source of income, or at least one of the main sources of income for the individual. Um, and it's just something that I think we all, as a society, need to band together and look out for, and do what we can to prevent, because these are among our most vulnerable. We talk about, obviously, children are vulnerable, but our older adults and our disabled citizens are also vulnerable. So anything that we can do to prevent exploitation and abuse of them, I think we should be aware of how to do it and what to look for.
For sure. Very good. So, Jack, when it comes to elder abuse, anything else you want to put out there for us here for this morning?
Just one more time, I'm going to remind people of that phone number. It's the Illinois Adult Protective Services hotline, and it's 866-800-1409 if you need to make a report.
Very good. Jack Meyer, Social Security, our guest on the phone here for this morning. Jack, I don't know if this would spill into or overlap in some way with elder abuse, but the representative payee program and understanding that program. How about that side of things?
Yeah, Seth, there would be some potential connections there. I mean, part of this would be, somebody who is no longer able to manage their own affairs, if they've, fallen victim to financial exploitation because somebody has, kind of attached themselves to their bank accounts and those sorts of things. Those could be signs that a person is no longer capable of handling their financial affairs and may need a representative payee. So that could be for Social Security benefits or SSI, supplemental security income. If that's the case, if they need a person to help them manage their affairs, we do have that representative payee program. You would apply for that through us at Social Security. So, basically you just contact your local Social Security office and make an appointment. What we would do is, we would try to determine whether or not a person needed that assistance. Sometimes we do that through interviews with the individual. Other times we'll seek information from their physicians. And then we just try to determine if the applicant would be the best person and is the one who's in the best position to make sure that the needs of that individual are met. And then, of course, there are checks and balances in place to make sure that that payee is using the money for the beneficiary. Depending on their relationship to that person, we will often have them complete annual accounting forms showing what they did with the funds and, just showing that they use them for the beneficiary's needs.
Very good. Jack, when it comes to the representative payee program, talk a little bit about just forms that may be helpful for the payee to be completed as they go through that process, things they need to know there. How about that?
Yeah, so that's kind of another good thing about it. We've talked on the program before about the My Social Security account. So if you go to ssa.gov, that's our website. Once you're there, you can set up what we call a My Social Security account for yourself, and you can get all kinds of information about yourself. It's a great tool for planning. You can do business with us through your My Social Security account. So it's phenomenal for you personally. But it also has advantages if you serve as payee for another person, because when you go to log into your My Social Security account, if you're a payee for somebody else, it will recognize that by your Social Security number, and it'll ask you if you want to see information about yourself or about the person for whom you serve as payee. So if you log into the payee part of it, you can do that accounting form that I mentioned. If one of those is required of you, you can do that through the My Social Security account. If you're helping somebody who is on disability benefits and maybe they're trying to work a little bit and get their benefits, and you need to report their earnings to us on a regular basis, you can do that through your My Social Security account. So it's really a great thing there. And then also, something kind of a little bit different angle, but still talking about the representative payee notion here. When you personally sign up for Social Security benefits, or if you're receiving benefits, you can go into your My Social Security account and you can identify up to 3 different people that could be your payee if you ever need one. That's called advanced designation. It doesn't mean that it's going to happen. It's just something that you say, hey, you know what? If I ever get to the point where I need assistance, these are the top 3 people that I'd like Social Security to consider. So you can put them in there, give us contact information, and then if you ever need payee, we'll know. If somebody doesn't come to us to say, hey, I want to be this person's payee, then we would have some potential leads of who we could contact on your behalf, and that's something that you would have entered in. Again, it's completely optional, and by no means does it mean you're going to need a payee. It just gives you that opportunity to have some say proactively in who might be the best person to be your payee down the road if you should ever need one.
Makes sense. Makes sense. Very good, Jack. Well, anything else on that we need to touch on this morning that we haven't got to yet?
Well, if you want to learn more about the payee program, because it's kind of a big step, if you're taking over financial responsibility for a family member or something like that, and, taking that out of their hands, you might want to learn more about that before you go through with it. We've got a lot of info on the website. If you just go to ssa.gov/payee, you can read more about the payee program and see if it might be something that is kind of the appropriate step for your family.
Very good. Jack Meyer, Social Security, our guest on the phone for this morning. More to come with Jack on the WHOW Morning Show.
WHOW.
Let's check the markets now on the RFD Radio Network. I'm Jim Taylor. Corn slightly higher, beans lower, wheat trading steady. December corn 487 and a quarter, up 1.5. March corn up 1.5, 501 1.5. May corn 509 and a quarter, up a penny. November beans down 7.5, 1368 and 3/4. January beans down 7, 1382 and a quarter. March beans 1387 and 3/4, down 6 1/4. December wheat unchanged, 609. March wheat up 1/4, 634 and 3/4. October bean meal, $397.90, down $3. October bean oil, $62.48, down $1.30. Livestock market, September feeders, $254.05, up 90 cents. October live cattle up 12 cents, $182.82. And October lean hogs, $83.42, up $1.55. Energy market, October crude oil, $87.45, down 9 cents. Jim Taylor, RFD Radio Network.
If you're looking for a local, full or part-time job in Central Illinois, there's an easy place to go to find current job openings. It's IllinoisJobPost.com. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. You'll find jobs available near you. And the best part is that it's free for candidates to access 24/7. If you want a local job, when you don't have to spend a lot of money on gas to get to, then you want access to IllinoisJobPost.com to check out current local job openings. That web address again is IllinoisJobPost.com. Another service from your friends at the Miller Media Group.
Your donations to Love It Once More Thrift Store in Clinton stay local to help local. This is Connie. Donate now and you'll receive a card good for 10% off your next purchase. So bring us a donation and help us help others. Look for us on Facebook, Instagram, or DeWittDailyNews.com.
This is Ryan Utterback with Utterback Real Estate. Selling your house on your own can be overwhelming.
Pricing, phone calls, showings, liability. Did I mention the paperwork and baking all those cookies for open houses?
And that's why you're the other Ryan.
For stress-free selling, click the Utterback Real Estate icon at DeWittDailyNews.com.
Your friend in Central Illinois, WHOW.
Once again, a good morning. Thanks for being with us. I'm your host today, Seth Lawrence, and the WHOW Morning Show streams to Facebook and YouTube. It's brought to you by Peterson Insurance, your Pekin Insurance agent in Clinton. Jack Myers with Social Security is on the phone with us here for this morning. And Jack, let's talk a little bit this morning about collecting retirement benefits and the significance of the age of 70 for folks. What's going on? What do we have here?
Yeah, Seth, I think that's probably one of the toughest choices that people face when it comes to Social Security, and that's when to start collecting that monthly Social Security retirement benefit. So, really what we try to help people understand is what your options are. So you could first start to draw that benefit at age 62. You've got to be 62 throughout the entire month, and we consider you to attain your age the day before your birthday. So if you're born on the first or the second day of the month, you could actually get a payment for the month you turn 62. Otherwise, it's going to be the month after. So that's the earliest point, but you could wait all the way up until age 70. And if you wait, the longer you wait up until age 70, the higher that benefit will be. So, really, it is up to you. Now, if you're under your full retirement age, which is going to be somewhere between 66 and 67, depending on the year you were born, then there are going to be limitations on how much you can work and earn and still collect the benefits. So that's something to consider in addition to having a permanently reduced benefit for taking it early. But if you're at that full retirement age, you can work and earn as much as you want and still collect the benefit. So really what it kind of comes down to is how badly do you need the money? Do you want to take it early and get it for longer at a lesser monthly amount, or do you want to wait? And that's really kind of what you're looking at as you're weighing out taking between 62 and full retirement age. At full retirement age, let's say that's 67 for a person, you'd get your 100% benefit. But if you waited beyond that, you could actually increase your benefit at a rate of 8% per year up until 70. So there are a lot of options, and you've got some tools at your disposal to take a look at this stuff. If you go to our website at ssa.gov, go into your My Social Security account and look at our retirement estimators. You can get personalized estimates that are going to show what your benefit amount would be at all those different ages. It'll show you what your full retirement age is. If you don't know what that is already, it will show you what you could get at that point. It'll show you what you could get at 70. But a key takeaway here, Seth, is if you haven't started collecting your benefits and you're approaching age 70, there's no incentive to deferring past age 70. That 8% per year increase that comes up until age 70 stops accruing there. So if you haven't already done it at age 70, you need to get signed up because you're not gaining anything by waiting past the age of 70.
All right, good advice there for sure. Jack, anything else on that one?
Again, just to check that out, to ssa.gov, go into your My Social Security account, look at the retirement estimator in there. It'll give you great personalized estimates. If that's not something that you're able to do, you can also give us a call. Our telephone number toll free is 800-772-1213.
Easy enough. And Jack, you talked about that ssa.gov website. There's a lot of not only benefits, there's a lot of material and some resources there folks can tap into. Let's wrap our time up together today talking about that. What do you know?
Yeah, so a lot of stuff there. We talked already today a lot about the My Social Security account and all the different things you can do there. But in addition to the My Social Security account, there are also several types of benefit applications that you can complete at the ssa.gov site. So I'm talking about start to finish. You go in online, you apply for this type of benefit, and it gets processed because you did that application online. So to go down the list, I'm going to mention just a few of those. You can do your retirement or spousal benefit application on the website. In order to do that, you have to be at least 61 years and 9 months old, and you have to want your benefits to begin within 4 months. And that's really the case however you're applying. You have to be within 4 months of when you want your benefit to start. If you're applying for a spousal benefit, your spouse must still be alive in order for you to do that on the website. If you're applying for a widow or a widower's benefit, you of course can do that, but you can't do that on the website. So you'd have to contact us to make an appointment. So retirement or spousal benefits with a living spouse can be done on our website. You can also apply for disability benefits. So if you're at least age 18, you're not currently receiving any Social Security benefits under your own Social Security number, and you're not able to work because of a medical condition that's expected to last at least 12 months, you can apply for disability through our website, again at ssa.gov. Another thing you can do, kind of dovetailing off that, if you apply for disability and you get denied and you want to appeal, if you're within 60 days of that denial, you can do the appeal on the website too. So that's a real convenient way. And the nice thing about doing your appeal online is your appeal has to be received in writing within 60 days of the decision on your disability case. If you submit that electronically through our website, that is considered to have been submitted in writing. So that fulfills that obligation, even if you're on the last day where, if you had to come to an office on that last day or get it mailed to us, that might be a little stressful for you. So do it online and you're good. You don't have to worry about missing that deadline if you're getting close to the end there.
Very good.
Another application that you can do is SSI, Supplemental Security Income. That's a disability program that we administer, but it's a needs-based one. It's a different application, and there are a few more exceptions to being able to do that one online. So not everybody's going to be able to submit the SSI claim online, but if you can't submit the claim, our website will at least allow you to do what we call a protective filing to indicate that you want to file for SSI, and then that comes to our field offices as we call it a lead to contact you and get an appointment set up. So more information is available about that at ssa.gov/SSI. You can also apply for Medicare if you're wanting to just sign up. Let's say you're 65 or you're approaching 65 and you're not yet collecting Social Security benefits. If you want to sign up for just Medicare and wait down the road to get your monthly Social Security benefits, you can do that on the website. And then the last thing I'll mention is if you're already on Medicare and you want assistance paying for the costs associated with the Medicare prescription drug plan, which is Part D, we call that extra help. And you can do that extra help application on the SSA.gov website as well. So a lot of different applications I just rolled through there, but all of those different things are available on the website if you're wanting to apply. If that doesn't work for you, of course, give us a call, 800-772-1213, and we'll get an appointment set for you to apply for any of those things.
Very good. Very good. Jack, I want to go back to the SSI because in your kind of general questions, you've got you're getting SSI benefits. Can you get other kinds of help through Social Security at the same time? How about that?
Yeah, it is definitely possible. If you're getting SSI benefits, you could potentially get, for example, you could get Medicaid in the state of Illinois. So if you're on SSI only, you don't necessarily qualify for health insurance through the Medicare program because you're on Social Security and you paid into Social Security and Medicare. That's when you qualify for that program. If you're on SSI, you may not be eligible for Social Security benefits or Medicare, but you probably would be eligible for Medicaid, which is health insurance through the state. And a lot of times, if you've been approved for SSI because of a disability, that's enough to get you eligible for Medicaid. But in the state of Illinois, you would actually have to apply for Medicaid separately through the state. And you could do that. Just go look for ABE Illinois, abeillinois.gov. That's the way to apply for that. But definitely would be something worth looking into. You probably would also be a candidate for SNAP, the Supplemental Nutritional Assistance Program, sometimes known as food stamps, to help you with financial assistance with food. So a lot of different things you could qualify for if you have that SSI eligibility.
Fantastic, Jack. You always bring great stuff with you. We appreciate it as always. Jack Myers, Social Security, our guest. Network News on the way.
The Big 1520 WHOW Clinton, 92.3 FM, W222 BG Clinton, 106.5 FM, W293 DJ Normal Bloomington.